President Trump announced on Truth Social early Monday that he wanted to start a movement that would put an end to mail-in ballots. He was then asked the question about mail-in ballots during the press conference that he was holding with Volodymyr Zelensky as they are trying to put a peace deal together for Europe. The press asked him about it, and he went ahead and answered it, even though it's kind of off topic. It is an important topic, and he answered it as only President Trump could. But he did make one important point above and beyond whether or not he's even able to stop mail-in ballots as president. The Constitution allows states to run their own elections, so there's going to be some challenges there. It will take more than just the president and some executive orders in order to make this happen. But we'll see. I think that he has some opportunities here to, at the very least, curtail mail-in balloting. With that said, he did make an important note about the Democrat Party. Watch.
So between paper ballots, very, very important, paper ballots, and I think maybe even more important, the mail-in voting. We're going to end mail-in voting. It's a fraud. If you have mail-in vote, even Jimmy Carter with this commission, they set it up. He said the one thing about mail-in voting, you will never have an honest election if you have mail-in. And it's time that the Republicans get tough and stop it, because the Democrats want it. It's the only way they can get elected. Because with men and women's sports and with transgender for everybody and open borders and all of the horrible things, and now the new thing is they love crime. They're fighting me on the fact that I've made Washington, D.C. safe. We're not going to get mugged, beaten up, or killed like all the people you've been watching get so badly hurt. I'm glad. I hate to take your time with this, but I'm glad you asked me that question. Sorry. We're going to stop mail-in ballots because it's corrupt.
He is absolutely right. They cannot win based upon their policies, their ideologies, their philosophies are so wrong, so awful. The vast majority of Americans don't agree with a lot of them. Certain ones, they'll still be able to get by in the ultra woke, super mega blue areas, districts, and even states. But for the most part, a majority of Americans will vote against them. And have voted against them. That's why I don't think they've won nearly as many elections as they have allegedly won in recent years. But let's say that President Trump is successful. Let's say that he is able to greatly downgrade the use of mail-in ballots here in the United States of America. If that does happen, well, the Democrats are going to have to make a choice. And I can already tell you what the choice will be. They will have to come back towards the middle. And by middle, I'm not talking about, they're going to be moderate. They're just going to be sane. They're going to pick and choose which battles they really want to fight. Because the battles that are going to be a real killer for them in a free and fair election, they're just going to abandon those. And that's a good thing. You might say, oh no, they're gonna come back and they'll be able to actually maybe win some hearts and minds with their policies. That's fine. Look, I know that we would love for just to eliminate mail-in balloting and for the Democrats to remain as radical as they've been for the last decade, but it just won't happen. They are allowed to be radical because of the mail-in balloting. And without that, and other forms of voter fraud, to be clear, without that, they're going to have to make some changes. And even though those changes will make them more competitive with the Republican Party, it's still a good thing. Because the last thing we want is for any Americans to think that they're on the right side of the ideological fence when it comes to men and women's sports or other issues that Democrats have been very bold about once they know that they can steal elections. Well, if they can't steal elections anymore, they're going to have to, start thinking sanely.
Freeze drying again?
Never know what could happen.
Whatever the future may bring, dinner can be certain.
Visit patriot.tv/harvest today.